Hey there, just checking in. I'm at work. This is a cool little pull off up here, kind of on top of a mountain. So I'm right off the road. You might hear some cars, but I'm just going to jump straight into my thoughts this morning. On the way over, I was listening again to had like 500,000 views. So I guess a pretty popular podcaster or whatever. And he's given this whole breakdown on Zionism. And so then he's given all the origins of Zionism and followed it from a worldview, kind of like, I guess you could call it just how it come about out of a textbook, kind of. Like this leader did that all the way, follow the money when they landed at the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds funded the Schofield, whatever Bible, and then that Bible began this whole dispensationalism, which led to, and then one of the things he was saying, when they reestablished Israel, that it was all brought together by they were debating on different places to create the state of Israel, other countries, and that in itself proved that it had nothing to do with reestablishing God's land of Israel. That land is not linked to God at all, basically, is what I get from what he's saying. So, here comes a car, I'll let them go on by. But when Jesus began, the disciples asked Jesus, what will be the sign of your coming? What should we look for? Jesus said, he didn't start with the sky splitting. He didn't start with the catching away, which translates to the rapture. He didn't start with all of that. He said, watch out that you're not deceived. The Bible will interpret itself. And I guess if you haven't established within yourself that this is the living Word of God, and that you haven't personally, say you're reading through it by yourself, and you have all of a sudden you're in tears, and you find yourself with the need to go apologize to someone or your wife, and there's this change in your life that comes out of that moment. See, God is outside time and space. He's a spirit. Chapter 3 of John, Jesus tells Nicodemus, flesh gives birth to flesh and the spirit gives birth to spirit. So why am I even saying that? To me, it links together with if you're going to have the worldview that I believe God trains us in by renewing our mind, then you have to come to grips with that he's not a man, but he did have his only son, Jesus. And he's also the God of armies. So the establishing of these countries, the guy was bringing up these different wars, and almost like for it to have something to do with God, it had to have been done by a perfect person. God works with whatever he needs to work with to bring about whatever he's going to bring about. He raises up and he tears down, even nations. I think we've got it a little backwards when we say America's the big brother, and yeah, we may be economically by all the measurements of this world. I almost believe we may have ever become as big as we did was because to support bringing about Israel, Judea, Samaria. It's not the West Bank. And so when it comes to that, if you settle on that he's outside space and time, so when he told Abraham, I'm going to make a nation out of you, when he promised, and I go to, this is 2 Chronicles chapter 7, when Solomon consecrated in Jerusalem the temple. Chapter 7, verse 16, I have chosen and consecrated this temple so that my name may be there forever. My eyes and my heart will always be there. Okay? Now, what are you saying? Well, that temple was destroyed. Yeah, it was destroyed. He goes, if you go a little further, he said it was going to be destroyed. Let's see here. But if you turn away and forsake my decrees and my commands, and serve other gods and worship them, then I will uproot Israel from my land, which I have given them. And I will reject this temple I have consecrated for my name. I will make it a byword and an object of ridicule among all peoples. I guess the point that I want to make is not that was there things that we would say, well, I don't like how that came about, or that doesn't seem like something God would do, or there's almost, that makes me think, are we so arrogant that we think that what our opinion or our whatever comes above what God's doing in the world, or do we not trust that he is the one bringing it about, including our own personal faith, the author and finisher of our faith? Rest on him. We trust him with that. Now, if you're on the fence with, I don't know if the word of it was written by men anyways, is the Bible even, I would say you need to come to that first. Settle that within yourself. Do you trust this, that this is the living word of God? You need to pray through that, settle that. But this is for people who you believe in the word of God. Don't be pulled off, by these different voices. Stick with the word. Stick with the word. And let the word interpret the word. And your intimate time with God interpret the word. It's a miracle that we have the Bible. It's a miracle that it went through all those years and years from on scrolls and written on skins and translated all the way to where we can even read it. We didn't come up with the Bible. We didn't come up, this is from the Middle East. Jesus wasn't a Christian. He was Jewish. So we've been grafted in through Jesus. Now we are Christ followers, and that makes us a Christian. So we follow him. And he went to the Jews first, then the Gentiles. Read Romans chapter 11. We have been grafted into the tree, and we should humbly come into that. So if you're a believer, I just want to, hopefully that's encourage you to stick with the word. Stand strong in your faith and in the word, and God and his promises. He's not the apple of his eye. Judea, Samaria, Jerusalem. And these people talking these ways, we need to pray for them, and hopefully they'll come into, because it's not one-dimensional. There's a whole spiritual element in all of these things. So hopefully that's helpful, and we'll see you next time.